War is terrifying in its own right. But beyond the battlefield, beyond the horrors of combat, lurk stories far darker. Stories that defy explanation, from ghostly apparitions in the sky to chilling tales of those who simply vanished. These are some of the most unsettling true mysteries of World War II. Switzerland, 1943, a country untouched by the war, yet not immune to its horrors. In the remote villages of the Swiss Alps, a chilling rumor spread. Refugee children sent to safety in the mountains began to disappear. At first it was dismissed. Children wander, they get lost. But soon the disappearances became impossible to ignore. A British company stationed nearby noticed something strange. Supplies vanishing from storage sheds, pieces of wood, tarps. Then the children began to go missing. Search parties combed the frozen landscape but found no bodies, no footprints, only scattered toys, abandoned as if their owners had vanished into thin air. Eventually the truth emerged. A missing soldier, presumed dead, had been surviving in the mountains by preying on the children. When they finally found his hideout, a crude snow cave on the outskirts of town, it was filled with bones, stripped clean. The soldier was never found. Only whispers of what he had become remain. August 16, 1942, a U.S. Navy blimp, L-8, departs from Treasure Island, California for a routine anti-submarine patrol. The crew, Lieutenant Ernest DeWitt Cody and Ensign Charles Adams, were experienced, disciplined men. There was nothing unusual about the mission until there was. A few hours later, the blimp was spotted drifting over the San Francisco coastline. Something was wrong. It floated aimlessly, out of control. It slowly descended and crashed into a Daly City street. When authorities arrived, they expected to find the crew injured or unconscious. Instead, the gondola was empty. Cody and Adams had vanished without a trace. The blimp's door was locked from the inside. The parachutes and lifeboat were still there. The radio worked, and there was no sign of distress. The only clue: the headset found hanging near the radio, like someone had been interrupted mid-sentence. Despite a massive search effort, neither man was ever found. The L-8 remains one of the greatest aviation mysteries of World War II. December 1942. A full year after the attack on Pearl Harbor, an unidentified aircraft appeared on U.S. radar heading toward the Hawaiian coast. American pilots were scrambled to intercept, fearing a second Japanese attack. As they closed in, they saw it, a single P-40 Warhawk, an American fighter plane, flying unsteadily, its fuselage riddled with bullet holes. Something wasn't right. The plane's landing gear was missing. It wobbled as though barely holding together. The pilots tried to make radio contact. No response. Then they saw the cockpit. The pilot was slumped forward, motionless. Before they could act, the P-40 crashed into the ground. When soldiers arrived at the wreckage, they expected to find the body of a fallen hero. But when they opened the cockpit, it was empty. No pilot, no remains. Only a logbook with a single entry. "I'm coming home." To this day, no records exist of a missing P-40 matching that plane. Some say it was the ghost of a pilot seeking his final landing. Others believe it was something else entirely. Of all the horrors of World War II, few are as disturbing as the accounts of cannibalism among Japanese troops. In the dense jungles of the Pacific, starvation was a daily reality. Cut off from supplies, soldiers faced a terrible choice: die of hunger or find another way to survive. Historians uncovered documents detailing these gruesome acts. Allied prisoners, and sometimes even fellow soldiers, became food for the starving. The Chichijima incident is one of the most infamous cases, where Japanese officers were documented as having consumed the flesh of captured American airmen. Survivors reported seeing bones boiled for marrow, flesh carved from bodies in the dead of night. These reports were dismissed as horror stories until official records confirmed them. What drives a man to such madness, desperation, evil, or something far worse? War ends, but its ghosts remain. Some mysteries will never be solved. Some stories will never fade away. If you enjoyed this dive into the dark and forgotten, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, the past is always watching.